beloved members of the Malhotra family, Ritu, Priti, Bhabiji, Ashwini, my young friends, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it looks like yesterday that we were sitting, Bhariji, at your home, thinking about the scholarships. And it is 10 years. You know, 3,650 days have passed. It looks incredible. And I'm so happy that the seed that was sown 10 years ago has grown into a tree, a beautiful tree, which is not just giving shelter, which is providing help, assistance, life, and an opportunity to so many young people. I think one feels very proud to have been part of this entire journey. Balaji, you disclosed your age, but let me tell you that we'll be meeting here to celebrate your centenary. And I promise all of us will be there. I will be there. Okay? Reminding yourself of these words, and those years will pass very fast indeed. We are very keen to hear Vijay, so therefore I'll make only a few remarks. I think the first point I want to make really is these are scholarships for science. And it's very interesting. I was in Ahmedabad yesterday giving the Nani Palkhiwala Memorial Lecture, and the audience was IIT Gandhinagar students, about 600, 700 of them. And there was a question answer after I spoke. Do you know what I spoke on? Our Prime Minister had said last month that the time for incremental change is over. Incremental change is very slow change. We require game-changing innovation, disruptive innovation, by which the country can move, accelerate this entire process of inclusive growth. That's what he was saying. So my entire lecture was how to move from incremental to disruptive innovation, all right, and the role that technology is going to play. And one of the girl students asked a very interesting question. She said, you keep on talking about technology, 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 but what about science? And particularly basic research. And then I had to actually emphasize that without science, there won't be any technology. I mean, you're using your mobiles and you think it is technology, but what deep science went into it? If it was not there, we would not be seeing that mobile. So these developments in physics, chemistry, material science, etc., are very, very important, and therefore the country must actually keep on making investments. The other thing that I want to emphasize is that many of our scholarships are going to the rural villages. I always said India's greatest strength is Indian talent, and that talent is not necessarily in the metropolitan cities. It's not the Pune, the Bombay of this world, but the interiors, you know, where that talent lies. And what I'm particularly proud of is that this foundation, as a matter of fact, seeks that talent and honors that talent and gives them an opportunity. We talked about girls. It's very interesting. I was the Chancellor of Assam University, Silchar, for 3 years. And I remember we held the convocation, and it was absolutely incredible. There were 23 medals, by the way. Can you just believe it? Each one of those 23 medals were won by girls. Bhariji, Dada, the question is, what happens to those girls later? All right? So that means we have huge talent. You know, we talk about brain drain, and by brain drain we mean that our students go abroad and all that. Sorry. It happens right here, because if there is no opportunity that is given to those talented young girls who do so well, it is a brain drain. So brain drain happens right within the country. And therefore, just as we are opening up these doors of opportunity by giving scholarship, what else do we do moving forward? I think is very critical. We have taken the first steps, like the mentorship program that we have. It's a unique one. I must congratulate you, the kind of interest you take, because it is not just the ability that matters, it is the attitude that matters. It is not just creating a mind through the education, but it's the mindset that matters. And creating that requires mentorship, support system. As a matter of fact, there are, by the way, 5 skills that are going to be important by 2020. The products of our education, they must have 5 skills, otherwise they will survive. You know what are these? First is dealing with complexity, because this is a VUCA word: volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. How would these kids deal with complexity that comes? The second is critical thinking. The third is creativity. The fourth is emotional intelligence. And the fifth is ability to co-create. And co-creation means not only human interacting with human interacting with machines, by the way. We don't talk about robots, right, Vijay, anymore. We talk about cobots, collaborative robots, isn't it? That interaction. So I think the world is changing, and how do we impart these skills within the school and outside the school? I think is going to be very, very important moving forward. The other point I want to make, and this pertains to our chief guest today, and the bigger picture is the following. We have started this Startup India movement, and I'm delighted, as a matter of fact, that the Prime Minister, in his usual energetic style, has galvanized the entire country in Startup India movement. But you know who the pioneer of the Startup India was? This is 2016. In year 2000, this movement was started by our chief guest, Vijay Chandra here. And we'll tell you more about it, the stand genomics of this word, the stand life sciences of this word, and his entire journey is an inspiration. So Mukesh, I must thank you first for getting Vijay here, because young children will be always looking for icons and iconic leaders, whom they can follow. Because in India, there is always this particular challenge. We do Saraswati Puja on one day and Lakshmi Puja on the other day. We separate Saraswati and Lakshmi. But there is a route from Saraswati to Lakshmi, right? Science-led innovation is going to be the crux of the matter, and it's going to be very important for the country, because young people, when they go out, they should not be seeking jobs, they should be creating jobs, right? That has to be the kind of mental attitude. The other change that we require is that Indian genes, they express in Silicon Valley, right? How do you make them express in Indus Valley? This is a brilliant example, right? Vijay, you were abroad, you left, you came here, and you showed us the way, So these changes are very, very important. So today we have a symbol of that change on the dais, and I'm delighted that